underground t-shirt shop. Kidding. But I do print t-shirts and I often get asked how to do it and what you need to get started. So today I'm going to tell you. It's easier than you think. First, you need to get your t-shirts. You can usually find blank ones like this at Target or thrift stores, but I usually get mine from clothingshoponline.com because their prices are fair, they ship to me very quickly, and they have all the colors and styles that I need for my screen printing. Next, you're going to need screen printing ink. You can buy this online or at an art store local. You don't need to buy this very often because a little bit does go a long way. You just have to make sure you store it in a cool, dry place that's out of sunlight. Now those are your consumable materials in the screen printing process. Next, we will get onto the physical creation process of a t-shirt. But first, a word from our ad slot today. Today, I'm here to talk about the wonders of Uncrustables. I'm a big supporter of Uncrustables. I eat them nearly every day. They come in the freezer section, so no having to deal with bread gone moldy. They're pre-packaged, so no having to deal with peanut butter covered knives or jelly covered sticky counters. I pop one in my lunchbox, and by lunchtime, it's thawed and ready to eat. You'll need a screen printing frame. You can buy them, but I usually make them out of scrap wood that I have on hand. I make sure the pieces are square, and I nail them together, and then I staple on a piece of mesh screen printing fabric. Next, you'll need a way to make your design. I usually draw mine in Procreate, which is an iPad app that loosely reminds me of Photoshop or something like that. It's easy to use, and I use my Apple Pencil to draw. From there, I can take this design and put it into a program called Silhouette, which hooks up to my die cutter. This is the die cutter that I use when I'm on the go. See, it has a small blade in here that moves on an X plane, and then the cutting mat moves on a Y plane. And the design that I use is converted into a vector, which basically means there's a path that this little blade will follow, and that will be in the shape of your design. Then you can go ahead and take out the negative bits, and you're left with a stencil. I have a bigger version that I leave at home, but this smaller version I could bring on the go if I'm babysitting or I'm going up to camp and I want to print a t-shirt. I make sure that when I'm setting up my frame and I use transfer tape to put my stencil on the back, I also use painter's tape around the edges so that the only places that ink will go through the screen is where the design is. Next, I line up a pre-washed t-shirt with the screen on top, and I drag the ink across. I make sure to put a cutting mat or a placemat, something similar in the middle, just so that the ink doesn't bleed through as you're pulling the ink across. For cleanup, I have this disgusting old dishpan that I use to soak the frames. You could wash them in a bathtub or a slop sink sort of deal, but it can get a little bit messy, so I like to soak it first so that I can slowly pour the colorful water down the drain and I don't make a big mess. The next thing you'll need is a heat gun. You could use a hairdryer for this step, but I actually don't have one, so I use this. You want to apply heat to your shirt for about 30 seconds to a minute, and this is what sets the ink and makes your shirt washable. And the last step is I get the shirt ready to go to its final destination. That might mean putting it in a cool box, ready for camp, or I could be packaging it up and sending it to New Zealand. I hope this helped you understand my screen printing process a little better. There are many ways to achieve a screen printed t-shirt, and I've tried a lot of them. There's photo emulsion, there's stenciling directly onto the t-shirt, and a lot more that I even haven't tried. This is the method that works best for my setup. And you can actually buy the moose shirt that I made during this video. It's up on my Etsy shop. Why I'm a frog. I love sharing my creations with the world.